Happy New Year, everyone. This is Lena Wang from Hong Kong Entrepreneurs. I'm the founder of Hong Kong Entrepreneurs, and it's great to be seeing everyone online. Today, very happy to have a good friend of mine, Marie, who is the founder of a nonprofit organization, Uplifters. She founded the organization in 2018, and its mission is to empower underprivileged communities with online education and peer support. It concentrates on domestic workers, and its signature program is a free 6 months online courses on money management and personal growth. The community now has over 9,000 members. Hello, Marie. Can you just say hi to everyone on Facebook?
Hi everyone, and thank you for inviting me, Lina. It's very kind of you. And yes, I'm very happy to be with all of you tonight, and Happy New Year to everyone. That's a
Yes.
nice way to start the year.
Thank you so much. And I think for a lot of us, 2021 is definitely a very hopeful year that we're hoping to have a brand new start for the year. And happy to have Marie. I met Marie in a program that we studied together, and ever since that we've been supporting each other. She is a member of Hong Kong Entrepreneurs, and also I remember Marie and I had discussions about how I think our helpers, our domestic worker who are helping us at home, have been enabling us to be able to do the ventures that we do as entrepreneur. So can you just tell us more about what you do now and your startup story of Uplifters? Just share with us how you got started with this.
Yeah, sure. And I mean, first, thanks a lot for the very nice introduction because you basically said the most important things about uplifters. But yes, I founded it 2 years ago, following actually a discussion with my domestic worker, Yvonne. And so Yvonne is Filipina. She's about my age. She has a bachelor degree in finance, and honestly, she's super smart. Really an amazing woman. And the only two difference between us are our life circumstances. And someone once said, dreams are born equal, opportunities are not. And that's exactly how I feel about me and Yvonne.
Mm.
So I was chatting with her about a plan for the future, and I was super shocked to realize that despite many years working abroad, she had actually nothing for herself. And at that time, she was actually building a house, but not even under her name. It was for her mother and siblings. And it was not about education and knowledge for her. She knew, she knew very well how to budget. She knew she should save, but it was just very difficult. Um, and I was really sad that, even with financial education, good working conditions, she has no children to take care of. And still, she was in a very vulnerable position. No emergency savings, no investment for the future, nothing. And I was thinking, okay, so if she's in this situation, then what about all the others? Because there are about 400,000 in Hong Kong, there are 3.5 million in Southeast Asia, and the entire system works against them. So it's very unfair. And even she was telling me that most of the domestic workers she knows, they would not even be interested in attending financial classes because they would think that, no matter what, they would stay domestic workers for their entire life. So it was not really worth it. And they were also thinking, okay, and I feel quite shy to do some classes like that. Or, I just want to relax on my day off, which is quite understandable. So my question really was, okay, so how can we make it easy for them to financially educate themselves? And most importantly, how can we motivate them to really change their financial behaviors on the long term? Because again, education is not enough, it's about behavior change. And that's how I thought of creating an online education platform coupled with a peer coaching system. So we can reach them and impact them at scale. And the peer coaching system is key. Again, our program is effective because they are supported by alumni who are going to support them in their learning journey, motivate them, and share their own struggle, share their own difficulties. It's not me, the French woman, saying, "Oh, you know what, you should save more. It's good for you." It's really peers, domestic workers like them, who are going to share about the struggles and how they've overcome them.
Mhm.
So yeah, so this discussion with Yvonne, I told her about my idea, and she said, "Oh yes, that could work if we make easy and fun to Facebook."
Mhm.
And that was basically the start of Uplifters.
Mhm.
And actually, I have prior experience in online education
Mhm.
as a director of an online education center in France, and I had worked for a charity supporting domestic workers, and I had also done a bachelor degree in psychology out of personal interest. So I just
Mhm.
completed this degree. So yeah,
Mhm.
Uplifters was just about combining all these experiences, how to make online education work, my knowledge of the domestic worker community, and how to motivate people to change. So all of that, that was the initial push to create Uplifters. And then, I mean, I can tell you more about the journey because for sure that's a journey. And NGO is like, I mean, any startup, and you learn a lot along the way.
Yeah, yes. So definitely because and I think what have been inspiring Marie from my observation is all these alumni. I could see on our Facebook chat right now there are a lot of alumni from Uplifters who are now looking at our Facebook Live and really saying hi, and I could see how much changes you have been bringing to them. And I think, part of my own startups journey also kind of echo that, seeing the kind of inspiration that I could be bringing to other mothers. So tell us more a bit about you because you're French, you grew up in France, and what brought you to Hong Kong? And perhaps just share a little bit about, your experience of how you find the life different being in Hong Kong compared to other places that you lived in before.
Yeah, sure. So I've been in Hong Kong for 5 years, and before that, I was in Singapore for a year. And we just wanted to live abroad with my husband. That was an experience we wanted to have. And we just told each other, okay, the first one to have an opportunity, the other one will follow. And actually, my husband got an opportunity with this job, first in Singapore, and then they moved the headquarters to Hong Kong. So that was not really, I mean, the decision was just to move abroad, but I'm very happy that we had the opportunity to live in Singapore, now Hong Kong. Really enjoy this big city, and it's very easy to meet people here, and French people are not always very easy to approach. So that's something I really appreciate.
Okay. Yeah,
And
it's interesting coming, a comment coming from a French saying that.
well, yeah, and I'm quite an introvert person, so I can tell you it was doubling the pain. Really hard for me to get to know more people in France. While here, and especially in an expat community where everyone is here for a short time,
Hmm.
it's much easier. And I also truly enjoy living in a city where you have entire mountains and country parks in the backyard.
Hmm.
It's really amazing. It creates a very nice work-life balance because you can always easily go recharge in the nature.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I really appreciate that. Well, and more generally, I think being outside of France has helped me review my personal definition of success.
Hmm.
And I'm not sure I would have been able to, create a startup to start with in France, and for sure create a nonprofit. I think I would have never dared to do that in France. It was way too far from, yeah, where I was coming from, and I'm very happy and grateful because being here, I felt freer. I didn't have to stick to the societal norms of my, yeah, of my community, I would say. And yeah, it's I think it's really also a reason why I was bold enough to create this nonprofit. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, so it sounds
um,
like what's the right word? It sounds like the perfect a coincidence for you to happen to be in Hong Kong, happen to have this experience, happen to have a helper who have a finance background to start this and end up helping so many people. And you basically build the entire online program on Facebook, which I guess to a lot of people it sounds like something too good to be true, that it seems like they don't have any cost involved or doesn't require a lot of investment. Um, but how does it work? Like, I'm sure there are challenges that you have faced. Can you share a little bit more about that with us?
Yeah, sure. Can you please tell me if you can hear me well? Because I'm afraid my internet connection is a bit unstable sometimes. It seems okay to you?
Yep, yep.
Okay, great. I mean, first, I'm just going to reply to your first remark, and then I will go to the technical side. But yes, Flipchart was really an opportunity, and all the circumstances aligned. And I really remember thinking, okay, these women are so courageous and resilient. Um, I have always said I wanted to have a positive impact with my work. I thought of my children as well, and that's something you want to discuss in this live as well. When they will be grown up and ask me about the state of the world, and it's for me, I always felt rather powerless when I read the world news, but at least on that specific topic, I felt I could try to do something. And finally my husband motivated me as well. He was saying maybe this is the only time in our lives where we can afford not to have a salary for a while. And so what I want to say is that I'm not some I didn't plan to create a nonprofit at all. It's just like, okay, well, everything is aligned, let's give it a try, because then honestly I would not be able to look at me in the mirror. And then it's just it little by little it grew with the community.
Mm-hmm,
And for me, there are two important lessons here is don't wait to have figured out everything before you start, because then you would never start, and just make the first step. And the second thing is the power of the community. And I built up Lifters with the community of domestic workers, and then they made it bigger because they shared it with their friends, because they gave me feedback. They said, no, you need to improve this or that. And now there's the one. I mean, all we do at Uplifters is giving them the tool to empower fellow domestic workers. And I think, I mean, this is core in what we do at Uplifters, but I think for any company you want to create,
mm-hmm,
I mean, surround yourself with the people you work for, your community. You want this project to be for mother, and so exactly like you do in that, and then you create a community of mothers,
mm-hmm,
and that's for me a very powerful way to start a company.
mm-hmm,
So yeah, going back to the technical aspect of Uplifters, yeah, it does sound very easy because it's everything through Facebook.
mm-hmm,
And we want to make it very easy for our users to connect easily to our courses. Um, that's super important, not only to know easily about us, to connect easily to the courses, but also, if you want, the challenge with online education is to make people complete the courses. So very often you sign up for a course, you read the introductions, and then basically you give up. You will never go back to it. Well, it's actually, I mean, I'm not sure if it happened to you before. It happened to me for sure. And actually 95% of people will never complete the course they've started.
yep, yep,
Only
yep,
5% will finish it. It's like, so I was thinking, okay, community of domestic workers, so they don't have much time off, they don't have laptops, they will do it from their mobile phones, they may not even have Wi-Fi. All right, so how we are going to make them do it? And that's
mm-hmm,
again the peer coaching system. And thanks to our group chats where they encourage and support each other, we have actually a 51% completion ratio. So half
yep,
of them complete our 3-week program. It's just incredible, actually.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So to create that, very simple on the front end, honestly quite complex on the back end, uh, because I had to combine a lot of different tools.
mm-hmm,
And I built a minimum viable product myself. I'm not a tech, so I used market solution. So I mean everything, and I had no money. I mean, just to be clear, I was starting a Flipgrid with my own money. I was not going to spend a lot of money just to build something.
mm-hmm,
So I needed to use existing solution, maybe pay for subscription. But so in the end, I combined a chatbot on Facebook together with a database on Google Spreadsheet, e-learning platform that is on a subscription-based model, And then to make this work together, I had to use what is called the name is Integromat, and to making it possible basically for the students to receive our messages on Facebook Messenger. Well, but
Mm,
I'm not going to annoy you with the details, but that was honestly pretty complex.
mm-hmm,
We are reaching the limits of our system. So at the moment, we enroll about 500 new domestic workers per month.
mm,
And the problem is not the demand. So, I mean, not just always the numbers of domestic workers, but we can't grow more unless we change our system. So actually, our big 2021 project is to completely change our IT system and get
mm.
something more robust, and that would enable us to scale and grow much more.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm
And for
sure
that,
you
I'm not doing it myself. We have developers.
you're also reaching out to other part of Asia as well, right? Because I did see someone from Singapore also saying hi, and I'm sure there are a lot of your alumni who are also from other parts of the region. Yeah, so you actually started, of course, a lot of us at Hong Kong Entrepreneurs are moms. You started Uplifters when you were pregnant with your second child,
Yeah.
which means you're like dealing with your toddler, you're having a big belly, and you're also starting an organization brand new. Tell us that experience.
Honestly, tough. um, I don't regret it. I'm again very happy I had the opportunity to start Uplifters. But yes, that was tough. The pregnancy was honestly the easy part because it was a smooth pregnancy, and I was just very grateful because my baby was doing well, and so I was able to concentrate on Uplifters. And it was really difficult when my child was born because at that time we still had no proper funding. So and I had hired a part-time consultant to help me grow the organization because I knew that I would never manage just by myself. So I
Mm-hmm,
was playing with my hormone with someone, and the organization was totally dependent on me. So basically, if I stopped, then everything would stop, and I didn't want to lose the momentum. And the momentum is very important in what we do because
mm-hmm,
every month we launch a new session, and then we get students who get the certificates, and then they will refer their friends. And the moment you stop the machine, it's really hard to start it again.
yeah.
So I really wanted to continue. Plus, I really desperately needed to find funding. So yeah, I mean, the day I gave birth, I was in the morning in a meeting with with the head of office of one of the UN agency in Hong Kong. And I was okay. I cannot tell this man I'm having contractions, so pressing, and that's yeah. That was basically it. Then I went to the hospital at 10 p.m. in the evening, and I was so eager to go back to work that I asked to be discharged the next day at 1 p.m. So yes, in the morning I was already asking the nurse to be discharged. I think she thought I was crazy, and I was honestly. But then again, thanks to my domestic worker, thanks to my husband, I managed to do it all. But it's not going to be a big surprise for you that after a few months, I was on the verge of burning out, honestly.
Mm, 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 mm,
I,
mm, mm.
Simple things seemed like impossible to me. I had been, yeah, clearly working too much. I didn't take a maternity leave at all. So that's not something I recommend for sure. And what I'm grateful for, again, is that I've learned about self-care, like
Mm,
simple self-care, but crucial self-care. And that self-care is not about, fancy yoga retreat or massage.
mhm,
Self-care for me is like, exercising every week, getting enough sleep, getting
yeah,
time, not working on uplifters, but just doing something else. And
mhm,
actually, it's more about a routine and yeah, not fancy stuff. And
yeah.
I'm really much better right now. I almost never work in the evenings, and yeah, also almost never on weekends, which I was doing like all the time during the first years.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I hope this is not part of your work. And as I mentioned, that this I want it to be like a fireside chat that can be really casual. And Maria and I did say we're supposed to be drinking, but I run out of wine at home, so I'm having tea. But just want to have a good time and chatting.
No, no.
Obviously, you have helped many migrant workers in Hong Kong, and interestingly, of course, many of them who might have left their children to come to Hong Kong to look after others' children. And this lady is amazing, supporting many households in Hong Kong, especially those of us who have started our own business and having young children is at home. But is there anything you can suggest to us, employer, what we can do for them?
Yes. The first thing you can do is encourage your domestic workers to join our free money management and personal growth program. And that's very easy to do. It's free, it's on Facebook, and all they need to do is to click on send message on our Facebook page. And our Facebook page is at uplifters.community. So that's a very first simple thing you can do. Then the second thing you can do with a nonprofit is to support it financially, which is always like crucial. Every dollar counts. And with 155 Hong Kong dollar, you can already sponsor one domestic worker in the program I just mentioned, so that she can make better financial and life decisions, and also build a better future for herself and her family back home. You can also donate your time. So we always have open volunteering opportunities, and you can find about all of that on our website, uplifters-edu.org. And finally, I have great news. So we are releasing a new course on baby care. And this is super unique because it has a dual access approach, meaning you and your domestic workers will have access to the course. And our objective is to make sure that domestic worker understand your expectations, and that she has the skills, the knowledge, and also the communication skill with you to take good care of your baby. So if you are not interested in the content of the course, of course, you don't have to do it. But at least what you can do is download the handouts that we have at the end of each chapter and go through the questions that we have for your domestic worker to make sure that there is a good alignment between what you think you have told her and what she has really understood. So this course has just been released. So we pilot tested it in November. We are doing the final adjustment, and it should be live in 1 or 2 weeks. It's two modules of 2 weeks each that's been created by a pediatrician and the daycare center director. It follows the WHO recommendations.
Mm-hmm.
And because we are a charity and we want to make it affordable to as many people as possible, it's only 1,000 Hong Kong dollar for you, your domestic workers, and for the 2 weeks module. So total 4 weeks of learning. Yeah. So I'm
Okay.
done doing the promotion.
No, it's just perfect because I'm sure a lot of us would really want to also benefit from this. Honestly, with personally with my helper being with us for her 5th year now, we have a very good relationship. That I also want her to be happy because she's there looking after the children, and it's similar to how we always say, a man always say, with a happy wife, then yeah, you have a happy family. So I guess in a lot of household in Hong Kong, if you have a happy helper, then you also have happy family. um, of course, I guess this channel is about moms and all that. So want to ask if there's one thing that motherhood has helped you in your entrepreneurial journey, what would that be?
I think actually two things. So first, I found giving birth absolutely terrifying and empowering at the same time. And I think it made me courageous enough to create my own NGO, because after going through that, well, creating an NGO was easy enough.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing, I think it helped me keeping things in perspective. And actually, the self-care we are talking about, because at the end of the day, anyway, you go back home, you open the door, and you switch off basically instantaneously, because my children, they're 24 now, they would just run at me. They want some cuddles, they want to read books. And yeah, I mean, clearly for a big hour, we
Mm-hmm.
just do that. And it is wonderful.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So I totally echo that. I think we're definitely much stronger. So with that, in every episode of Boss Mom Life, we like to ask these questions to wrap it up. So we believe that mothers, like almost like having superpower that allow us to achieve a lot more. So what is your superpower as a mother?
Well, that's a tough one. I thought the obvious answer, like not for me, but for mother, would be prioritization and focus, because there are so many things to do that you really need to concentrate on the essential. But honestly, I think it would be lying in my case, because, or maybe I only progress from being like terrible at it to lousy, maybe. So I'm not sure that's my superpower. The other thing it makes me think of is, there's been a lot of research on motherhood and how it changes your brain. And it has been shown that actually the part of your brain dedicated to empathy and emotion regulation get bigger. And so, because they are key in caregiving activities. And this is actually, just to be clear, also true for men involved in caregiving activities on a day-to-day basis. But women's brain seems to be naturally wired for it, like prime for it. So I was thinking maybe our superpower as mom is that we feel more and we care more for others in general. And for me, I think it's true. It's one of my superpower, um, and it was absolutely key in the way I wanted to build, and I've built Uplifters. I truly feel for this amazing woman, this courageous, resilient woman, and I wanted to create an organization that would provide them crucial education, but also make them feel cared and make them feel cared for and make them feel important. And for me, it's like about as important as education, to have these feelings that you matter. And there is a famous quote by Maya Angelou that is always with me. So it's, I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel.
Mm,
So yeah, for me, I think that's my superpower, but that's a superpower we share, all women. And now this is Uplifter superpower, because I cared, and then volunteers cared with me, and then alumni cared with me, and together we have built a community of women caring for each other and uplifting one another.
mm.
So yeah, I think I want to start with that, and with that, I have received way more than what I have given, and it just started with caring for them. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 totally. So I'm sure we all agree that you do have the superpower, and you're definitely a superwoman that have been helping a lot of other women and inspire a lot of people. So with that, thank you very much, Marie. Want to keep it within 30 minutes, so we've done it. And thanks again, and we will be having more guests to be coming on to our Boss Mom Live show every week, Wednesday, same time 9:30. So looking forward to see everyone next week. Have a pleasant evening and stay warm, everyone. Bye.
Bye bye, everyone.
Bye.